Okay, here we go. We are going to show you how to install the CIS system into your Epson Workforce 7010 printer. Carefully take the printer out of the box. There we go. And place it on a bench. In the bottom of the box you'll see a CD with the print driver. More on that a little bit later on. And also, you normally get a set of cartridges shown here. However, we've already installed these in the printer here in the office to ensure that it's working correctly. Okay, now with the machine plugged in to a PowerPoint, those cartridges are already in your printer. Now what Sarah Jane's going to do now is press the ink, turn the printer on, turn the printer on obviously, and now we're going to see that all the lights are not flashing, meaning that there's a set of cartridges already in the printer. If they were all on, that means it didn't have a set of cartridges in and we'd have to put them in. So open the lid and press this ink light button, the white ink light button, and there they are, already preloaded. So that is how your printer should look. So close the lid and press the ink light button again, and it will go back to the start position, and it'll be already there waiting for the next stage. Okay, here we go. Now everything would have come with two discs: the Epson driver disc, which you'll load the driver onto your computer, and a VisiSub disk with two files on it that are important. I'm just going to pause the video there and I'm just going to have a chat to you about it. On that VisiSub disk will be two files. One will be an ICC profile if you're doing sublimation, and if not, it won't be on there. And there's also a PPP test file, which will be the first thing that you print through your printer. Okay, now when you load the driver onto your computer, press install, and it will start the installation process. Now, as soon as you install it, it might open up a browser window that takes you to the Epson's website. Just close that browser window down, and behind it will be the continuation of the installation. Now, halfway through the installation, it'll ask you to hook in a USB cord from the computer to the printer. Unfortunately, we don't supply that, so you'll have to purchase one, or hopefully you'll already have one. Now, once you plug it in, it'll continue on with the installation. Now, one part that you've got to be careful of is that sometimes, at some point in the installation process, it'll ask you for an update to update the driver. Do not update the driver, you do not need to. So just decline it and say, don't contact me again, and don't register with Epson, and everything will be fine. Now, once you've got the driver in, you will then do a nozzle check, and the way you do it is this: you go into your control panel, find your printers and devices, look for the Workforce 7010 driver, right click on it, select print preferences, go to the third tab up the top, which is the maintenance, and choose nozzle check. Load paper in and print the nozzle check. Now you'll see the nozzle check coming out of the printer, and make sure that all the lines are unbroken and printing perfectly. Now once you've got that, if there are a few unbroken ones, just do a head clean and then another nozzle check until you actually see it. So that's the key part. So now here we go. Now here, that's the nozzle check coming out of the printer, and now you'll see it up close. So if any of those lines are broken, just do a head clean and then another nozzle check. And this is a test page, see? PPP test file, and print that and you'll see all the colours are perfect. Okay, so that's the first stage. Now, carefully open the box, and there's your printer system. Lay it all on the bench in front of you carefully, and there's a plastic bag. Inside there are some items. There are your syringes. You won't need them now. You might need them later on, maybe in a few months' time, 6 months' time or something. But anyway, put them away. There's what we call the bridge on the right. That's the yellow plug, which is now going to be the door sensor. That'll go into your door sensor. So just carefully bend that slightly. It might have already been pre-bent, and that's your clip that'll hold the hoses on the side of the printer as well. Okay, so that's it. Now we'll put away these syringes. You don't need them. That's for later on for a little bit of maintenance that might happen. More on that a little bit at the end of the video. So carefully put them in the box, close the box up, and now we're going to put that on the side of the printer. Not that side, it'll go on the other side. Okay, here we go. Here we go. The first thing you've got to do is carefully remove the lid that covers the print head, the cartridges. So press the white ink light button as shown. The print head will move slowly to the left, open the lid up, and now go to the back of the machine and pull out the power cord. That frees up the print head so it can be moved by hand. Now take out the normal cartridges like so and put them somewhere safe. Wrap each one up in Glad wrap, and you can always use them later on to do a bit of troubleshooting. Okay, here we go. So Sarah Jane's going to now get a little screwdriver, and you'll watch her carefully prise off that little cap at the side there. Now look, if you can get it off without breaking it, fantastic, but 9 times out of 10 it'll break. So carefully, just gently bend it over, off it comes. There it is in her hand, and now off with the lid. Now they're disposable, just throw them away now because you can never put it back on, and that's it. You put the system in, or put the bits and pieces in the right position. Put the box on the side like Sarah Jane did. Get the little clip like that and put it on the side with the double-sided tape, and get the bridge and carefully place it in position as shown, making sure that it looks a little bit like a ski jump, pointing up in the air, and that's to keep the hoses away while we put when it runs left and right. So there's Sarah Jane, just taping that in place just in case after a little while it decides to come loose. Okay, now, there we go, see? Beautiful, how good's that? Okay, now what Sarah Jane's going to do now is get the inking system, place it on top of the empty box, carefully push the cartridges in. Now push them in hard until you hear click, 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 click. Now if they're not pushed in hard, the printer won't see the chips and it won't register, so you have to put it in. Now push it all the way to the left, put the hose through the bridge like so, back to the right, make sure there's no tension, it's just got to be in the right spot, not too loose and not too tight. There it is, see, just around and up. And now this part here, there she goes, look, nice and just right, look, left and right. Okay, that's good. Now this part here will come back and make sure that part's nice and straight and tight, because that's got to stay in the right position. Okay, and there it is, look at that. There it is. Okay, now what we're going to do now is take the dust covers off, 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4 over each colour, and carefully turn the bottles on the side, and that clears the ink out of the air well. There it is, so hold it down like that, and then back. Now take out the little bungs, see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now those bungs have to be left out at all times whilst the printer's working. The air goes in there and allows the ink to flow through the lines and into the print head. Cover them again with the dust covers. There you go. And every now and again just pull the cover off just to have a look how your ink's travelling. Now the lid cannot close because of the cartridges system in it, so that is replaced now with this yellow plug. So the yellow plug becomes your lid. So normally that little piece there would go into the door sensor, but now it's replaced by the lid, by this little yellow plug. So there's Sarah Jane putting the yellow plug in. Now plug the lead back into the printer. Don't turn it on yet, wait for a second. Now turn the printer on. Now what will happen, the printer will be confused, it'll think that there's no cartridges in the printer. It's now going to come back to the change position and all the lights will come on, telling you that it needs to have a set of cartridges in. However, what we're going to do in this instance is just do a quick reset. So there, all the lights are on. Now watch what we do now. Take the plug out, and that's like opening the door up. The cartridge head moves to the change position. That's the reset button, which now you press in for 5 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let go of it and put the lid, close the lid by putting the yellow button back in, and what will happen now, the print head will move to the right and it'll do a reprime, and in 1 second now all those lights will go out. If the lights don't go out, that means that you haven't pushed the cartridges in firm enough, so you'll have to do the same process again. So what will happen now, it's slowly going to go through all the process of repriming. It takes about 1 to 2 minutes. There it is, and that's the final. Okay, here we go. Now that the inking system's all installed, so now we're back to doing a nozzle check exactly how you did with the normal cartridges in the printer. So there it is, beautiful. Now once you've done the nozzle check, we're going to print out our test file again with the correct settings, which will all be supplied to you. So there it is. Okay.